Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Monday as you are listening to the show on the River 95.3 today. And I'm saying happy Monday because it's a special Monday. It's a Monday where you're going to get access to tickets to the Farm to Table event that NW Works is hosting. That is where I am sitting recording the show today. Skip Phillips is here with me. He is their CEO. Morgan Toll is joining us. She is their communications coordinator. Skip, I'm so excited to be in on what I'm going to call the ground floor of getting tickets to Farm to Table. I appreciate you reaching out.
Absolutely. We're thrilled to be with you today and to talk about what we're going to be celebrating coming up on September 6th.
So you are going into your 55th year at NW Works. That is very impressive. You don't look a day over 25.
Well, I was not involved 55 years ago, but there are still many people in this community that helped to make NW Works happen, that had the vision, that had the need, and then really put the work in to create a foundation that we've continued to build on today.
For someone who isn't overly familiar with what you do here at NW Works, can you give me the 40,000 foot level overview?
Sure. NW Works has as its core, we support adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We do that in a variety of different ways. Our core mission is to maximize independence, and we do that by helping to build skills, build confidence, and to help with self-advocacy, because those are all the foundations for everything else in life. And so many adults with disabilities have been told what they can't do, and part of our program and our services are to help to bring out the best in them, just like all of us wanted us. But for adults with disabilities, that takes a little more focused effort sometimes. And then the other side is maximizing independence through employment. The opportunity for employment and to get that paycheck, regardless of whether it's for an hour or for 40 hours, makes a huge difference in the value that people feel like they bring. So a big part of what we do is helping individuals be able to give back to others, whether that's through their colleagues that they work with in the day program or through employment out in the community, helping to be part of the businesses and the missions that they have.
I think the other benefit to that is that public facing piece of it, where we as a community now are changing how we think about the clients that you serve, because we're seeing them working in restaurants, we're seeing them working in manufacturing facilities, we're seeing them at retail locations, and it makes it easier for us to then understand and realize, so that we can then help you a little bit in that mission to say, well, you guys are thinking that they can't do this and they can't do that, when actually they can.
55 years ago when NW Works started, the view at that time was adults with disabilities need to be in their own world and more isolated. Our focus today is on how do we help support as broad-based inclusion and participation as possible, because each of those learning opportunities helps to maximize their independence, maximize their confidence, and give them new choices in their lives.
And you don't just send them out into a work environment and say, hey, good luck, we think you're going to be great at this. You have extensive training, you go do one-on-one things, you work very closely with your employment partners to make sure that you've got a good fit from the employee to the employer.
We start with, in our day program, foundational skills that help to build the basis of confidence and skill needed to be successful in the work environment. And as the individuals grow and build those skills, then we work with employers in the community based on their business needs. We're not asking people to give people a job. We're asking for the organizations to give them an opportunity based on demonstrated skills and abilities. And what generally most of the employers find, that we have 55 business partners in the community, and what in general they find is the workers that they get, they start with supported employment in most cases, but ultimately they are some of their best and most reliable workers. Once they learn their job, they do that consistently on a day in and day out basis. They do it without hesitation, and they also have, if there's issues, the job coach is there to walk side by side with them. So our partners through the Department of Rehab Services and through the Northwestern Community Services Board help to make that easier for us to do, because they do provide funding for the workforce training. So you get a package deal. You get an individual that's motivated, you get a job coach to help them be successful, and then the employer is able to target what they need that we do specific training for. So it's a win-win-win.
And then you have programs here in-house, whether someone is ready to make the move into that employment or they just want to learn a new skill or they want to be part of the community garden. I always have to work that community garden into my
Absolutely.
conversation because I think it's a phenomenal program.
Especially this time of year.
Right.
So we currently serve almost 250 individuals, and of the people that we're serving today, 61% work. The goal is not necessarily for everybody to work, but for everybody that has an interest to be able to have the opportunity to work.
Mm-hmm.
Today, 61% of our individuals do. Some of them worked maybe in their past. So we've got some individuals, just like all of us, as we age, life changes. So they may have been working at one point, but at this stage, they're at a little bit different stage of life. So they're focusing on life skills and things that are more enjoyable, and maybe some things where they're having to relearn things as their bodies have aged and they have different capabilities. Our day program is a full range. It's everything from the garden and being able to do fun stuff and learn nutrition, but also produce meals. To date, we've already, just this year alone, about 150 pounds have come out of the garden already, with almost 100 donated to local food banks. That's been supported by over a dozen partners in our community over the last several years to bring it to that point. So that those individual partners, without their support, the opportunities that our day program has to make that happen, and then in turn the food banks wouldn't occur.
I had a conversation on Friday with Andy Gale, CEO at United Way NSV, and he talked a lot about those types of collaborations, that none of the nonprofits in our community can survive if they're living inside of a bubble. So it's great to hear that you're able to take corporate partners and marry them with the clients that you have here, and then turn that around and partner with another nonprofit, another food bank in our area. It just makes such a stronger community, I think, for all of us.
Yeah. Knights of Columbus, Fisher Park County in particular, long-term partnerships there, and our individuals get to go and be part of the volunteer work in those organizations, but they also get to see the product of their work, the produce that they've produced, be able to go to other people, and that's a huge sense of reward to know that you've done something that makes a difference in the lives of others.
Remind me about your age range. Do you have a certain population age-wise, income-wise? How does that work?
We start actually serving people in high school. So we do work with both Winchester City Schools and Frederick County Schools, and incrementally with Warren County, a little bit more so with Winchester and Frederick, just because of the long-term partnerships that were there. But we work with school-age kids, in particular those that have individualized education programs. That is our pre-employment transition services, and there's several organizations in the community that do that along with our partners in the school system. Most of the adults we serve are 18 to around 65. We do have some that will occasionally be a little bit older than that, but generally they're a minimum of 18 years coming into the day program, but we have them of all ages.
Do they have to be at a certain income level, or does that not really factor into it?
So generally, most of the people that we serve have either a waiver or Medicaid services. That's part of the enabling resource that helps them with the day program support. So generally, Medicaid waiver is one of the pieces that's there, and it's really targeted at adults that are at risk. And without that level of support, they're likely going to have lower opportunity and probably less quality of life and higher cost of life as well. So all of those things will be part of it.
So I mentioned a second ago that none of this happens in a bubble for the other nonprofits in our area. Same holds true for you. You still have to have this building. You still have to keep the lights on. We were joking when I got here that the AC is on the fritz. There are not pretty things that you have to pay for, and then there are really cool things like the community garden that the community can help support. That's why events like this Farm to Table are so important to you.
Absolutely. Our community partners that help donate to the organization through individual donations, through grants, or through participating in an event like our 10th annual Farm to Table on September 6th, help to fund a variety of different things for the organization. Right now, all of our air conditioning units are 20 to 25 years old. They're at the stage where they've all got to be replaced, and we've started that process, one emergently and one preemptively, but we're in the middle of that now. But in total, it's about $250,000 for our air conditioning units for our almost 75,000 square foot building. At the same time, we have old plumbing systems and old electrical systems. So all those nobody sees, but without them, they're not here. So the other big part is all the extras that go with our services. About 3 years ago, the board said one of our initiatives was to never say no to a client, to make sure that no matter what the need was, we were always able to say yes. And through the generosity of our community and the hard work of our team, We've been able to do that successfully since 2023. And at the same time, we've been able to expand services as well. So that incremental funding gives us the extras in the day program and the things that help the garden really be something other than just a place where there's some vegetables planted, and the things that help the day program be something other than just a place to come hang out for the day, that really helps build skills and build confidence.
I love that you have the community garden and you do an event like this farm to table. I think it brings a lot of things full circle. Plus, with the variety of nonprofits that we have in this area, having something unique as a fundraiser is a struggle from year to year to year. I love that this is not something everybody else does as well.
The farm to table event, I think that the original idea started with a few people sitting around a table saying, how do we do something different and something fun? And here we are 10 years later. Charles Darabont with Middletown has been great. The town of Middletown, Charles, I just upgraded you to a city. The town of Middletown.
I don't want my taxes to go up. Don't do that.
Closes Church Street behind the City Hall office, and that's where we have the tables set up and literally enjoy the bounty of the Shenandoah Valley. This year, Schaefer's Barbecue is helping to make the event happen. Matt and Julie have been awesome for many people in the community, and they've stepped up this year to help support Farm to Table again. They've been supporters in the past, but they'll be the main caterers. And then Timeless Wines and many other people in the community that we'll be sharing over the next few weeks are stepping up to help donate local produce and local items to support the event. So it's a great farm to table meal, all served at long tables out in the community. Hopefully a beautiful day. This weekend's weather would be awesome. So
right.
If any of you have power with anybody on the weather side, and Lauren, if you're listening, make this happen.
I'll call Kemp at the station and see if he can pull a few strings for us. Let's take a break. When we come back, Morgan, will you get in the weeds, so to speak, with all of the logistics and the details? Because people can buy tickets as they're listening today. Where would they go do that while we're on the break?
Yeah, they would go to nwworks.com to our events page, where there will be a pop-up that they can click on, and those tickets are going to be right there for them.
And they're not going to last long.
No, they will not.
They traditionally have not lasted long.
We are looking at days.
Absolutely. So go do that during the break, and we'll come back and we'll talk more with Skip Phillips. He is the CEO here at NW Works. Morgan Toll is joining us. She is their communications coordinator. She's going to give us more details about Farm to Table happening on Saturday, September 6th in Middletown. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. In just one day, you can help shape a stronger, more connected community. On September 19th, United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley will lead Day of Caring, the region's largest single-day volunteer event. Over 900 volunteers will roll up their sleeves to help local nonprofits with projects that matter. Painting classrooms, repairing shelters, planting gardens, organizing food pantries. Whether you're a business looking to sponsor, a nonprofit in need of an extra set of hands, or a neighbor ready to serve, there's a place for you on Day of Caring. This is what community looks like when we come together. This is care in action. Learn how to get involved at unitedwaynsv.org/dayofcaring or email dayofcaring@unitedwaynsv.org. One day, hundreds of hands, lasting impact. Join us. Welcome back to the Valley. Today, I am your host, Janet Michael. We are recording today at NW Works. In the first segment, we chatted a bit with Skip Phillips. He is their CEO. Got a little bit of history and background for the services that they provide here. Morgan Toll is joining me as well. She is the communications coordinator. Morgan, right when we went to break, Skip was giving us details for the Farm to Table event. Saturday, September 6th. Tickets are on sale right this very second.
Right now.
But they may be gone by the end of this week. So why does this thing sell out so quickly?
Yeah, I think the uniqueness that this event holds to the Valley really just draws people in from across our region. So we have these long tables that are set out in the middle of Church Street in Middletown, Virginia. And from 4 to 6:30, folks get to enjoy this meal that's provided by Schaefer's this year, and it's all these locally sourced ingredients. But you're not only going to enjoy this meal under the sky, enjoying kind of the scenery of the Northern Shenandoah Valley, but you're also benefiting such a great cause. You're helping to fund the services that are essential for adults with disabilities, our neighbors here in the NSV. So we have sponsorship opportunities ranging from $500 to $5,000. We have sponsor clients so that our clients can also join in on the fun of Farm to Table. And then we have general admission and VIP tickets, and that's $100 for general admission and $125 for a VIP experience.
What do I get with the V? I am all in for any anything says VIP, I am in.
Yeah, so you show up to Farm to Table to Church Street at 3 p.m. and you will go up to the town hall office, and there's a more intimate look at what NW Works, the services that we provide, getting to meet with our partners, getting to meet with other sponsors, and really just getting more of the background of what NW Works does and the ways that you can support our important cause.
I think that's a really unique thing to offer, because sometimes people want to support you, so they buy a ticket and they come to an event like this, but then they feel guilty because they feel like they don't know as much as maybe they should about your organization. So this gives them that one-on-one connection to be able to do it and not have to be the one that asks what they consider to be the dumb question in a group. So you get to have that one-on-one interaction.
We'll have many of our board members will be there, along with some of our leadership team members. So we'll be there helping answer questions as well. But the fun part that we've seen, that we started the VIP event 2 years ago, so this will be our third year with it. The fun part that happens is you really get a chance to just relax and enjoy a few moments together before we jump into the festivities. But you also get early access as well. So you get in at 3 o'clock, you get early parking, you have reserved seating. So there's some other things that go with it. And then this year, Billy Sue is going to be doing the VIP catering. Amanda and Bill are helping make their special things happen.
Oh gosh, Billy is amazing.
Yeah, and then Timeless Wines will have a couple of special treats for us. And then we'll also have a bourbon tasting as part of it as well. So it's
we're checking all the Middletown boxes. Timeless Wine. I'm guessing Vault and
yes.
Cellar is probably involved in the bourbon tasting.
Vault and Cellar will be involved in the event. We have to do, because of the ABC laws, we have very specific ways we have to do that one. But yes, the local restaurants have all been very supportive over many years for Farm to Table.
Morgan, to your point, that's what I think so many people really appreciate is I don't think they even know how many of our local restaurants are sourcing their ingredients locally. So this is a great education point for them as well.
It really is, and I think it's interesting to be able to come to Farm to Table and even just look at the sponsorship board that we'll have up. And that gives more of an idea of who is giving back to their community and who's involved. There are so many Middletown area restaurants, area businesses that are giving back, as well as others in the Winchester and Frederick areas.
And I'll give Carrie huge credit with Vault and Cellar. She definitely influenced the bourbon tasting with her massive collection and growing reputation in the region. One of the things that Carrie's also done with Vault and Cellar, along with several other restaurants, is they've been consistent supporters for us, whether it's doing a special event or helping to make something happen for an event like Farm to Table. They've always been great at supporting.
Years and years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago, my parents were always huge fans of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They would go for long weekends, and when Tim and I got married, we would go with Mom and Dad for these long weekends. And they always wanted to go to these restaurants in Lancaster that were the communal restaurants where you're sitting at a table with people you don't know. I was never really a fan of that. And I don't know if it's the radio show, I don't know if it's my husband, having kids, what it is. I love those now, and this is another great opportunity to sit with people maybe you know, maybe you don't, but you're going to learn something about your community. You're going to reconnect with people in this way.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's not just an event, there's so much more to it, and you're potentially relationship building, whether that's a personal relationship or a professional. There's a world of opportunity at Farm to Table, both for the attendees and for the people that we serve.
I can't imagine how many texts and emails you probably get after the fact, Skip, saying, oh my gosh, that was so fantastic. Can I go ahead and reserve a ticket for next year? And the answer to that is no, sadly you can't.
It's always a fun event, and I'm just grateful that the history was already there before I got here. We just get to take it where it is and keep trying to make it a little bit better. So the town of Middletown is awesome. They've been extremely supportive. They help us the setup and the cleanup and all the safety things that go with it, so that our guests and supporters get to come and just have a fun time.
As someone who also lives on Church Street, that's a really good spot too, because there are trees. It's shaded. You've got the little grassy area there. It is one of the most unique little spots that's kind of a hidden gem in Middletown versus going to a park or doing something that might be a little more traditional.
The long tables with tablecloths, local florist is helping to make flowers happen for us. It's just a nice event. like you might see in a magazine, literally. And there are some people that have come to the community and they say they've been to things like this where they pay a whole lot more money, but they also love the fact that it's supporting the mission of NW Works.
And this is the 10th year, so you will probably have people that are at this event that have been all 10 years.
That literally, people look forward to this every year. The only time they miss it or when they're out of town, and it generally falls around the weekend after Labor Day, somewhere in that time period. So sometimes with family obligations, but for the most part, it's a shouldn't miss event, and unfortunately we can't have everybody there. So
It also sells out. So it's one of
does.
those events that people have on their calendars and they know. Skip was telling me a few minutes ago before we started recording, Morgan, that you're adding a few extra seats this
We
year,
are.
but it's still going to sell out.
It is, yeah. I think really the main way that we encourage folks to secure their tickets is if you have a business or if you want to get a group of folks together and sponsor the event. So we have sponsorships as low as $500 that folks can use to reserve their spot. Even today, this day that our tickets are going on sale, we're still looking for sponsorships. They are limited, but we're still looking.
And that's something I talk about quite frequently on the show is small businesses don't often have an opportunity or the ability to be a $3,000, $5,000 sponsor, but they want to support organizations like yours, or they want to support their staff.
Right.
They want to say thank you, good job, sorry I can't give you that $5 an hour raise. So instead, I'm going to sponsor this event and I'm going to get these tickets and I'm going to give them to you to go and enjoy. This is perfect for a lot of small businesses.
It is, it really is. And there's the recognition piece that comes with it too. So you get your business highlighted on our social media, in our welcome remarks, and on our sponsor signage that goes up at the event. So it's the publicity, the awareness, and then saying that you're supporting a greater mission.
How does somebody reach out to become one of those sponsors? Do they call you? Do they email you? How do they get in touch?
Sure, really any of the above. They can visit our website or they can visit our social media, and where there's the ticket information, there's also the sponsorship information. So it's all right there for them. My email address that they can reach me at for sponsorships is mtowle@nwworks.com.
And all of the details about the event itself are on your Facebook page
are.
and are on your website.
That's
along
correct.
with the photos that when Skip said looks like it's out of a magazine. I don't know who your photographer is for this event, but she is Southern Living quality photography.
Kimberly Needles has been great. She's been a supporter of NW Works for many, many years, as has been her family. But Kimberly is awesome. She helps to do things for us and is really an amazing person.
So how cool is it to be able to have an event? Going into your 55th year, you're having an event that is now 10 years old. It's a high likelihood that it's going to sell out and that it's an event people are really going to enjoy. You're going to get to spread the word of NW Works a little bit more. It just seems like it checks every single nonprofit of a CEO checkbox.
It does. It's a fun time. And it also, for people, especially as we've been looking to the future for NW Works and the next 55 years, it gives us the chance to talk about what's different now than 10 years ago, 55 years ago when the organization started. Today we have about 65 individuals in our day program. We serve almost 250 individuals in total. 61% of them are working at some level out in the community. And we have, which has been really cool this year, we've started tracking, we have 23 people working for the first time, which is a really cool opportunity to see the first time they get that paycheck. We have one young lady, not that young, but a little bit younger than me, one young lady that's part of our team here that whenever she gets her check, for the rest of that day, she's showing everybody in the organization her check. Wants to make sure she doesn't show us how much it is, but she shows us the check because that's a really important part for her. She recognizes that opportunity to do something that's valued is something that is really important to her.
And I think that's the underlying thread to all the work that you do here, that sometimes we as the general public overlook or don't understand. And I think that's something that you should probably, all of you should probably scream from the rooftops, much like she does when she gets that check. And for those of us in the community that do know what you do, we should be screaming alongside of you.
This is all about maximizing abilities and helping to recognize that everyone has something to contribute. I think the individuals we serve have a lot of determination, they have a lot of pride, they work very hard, but what we try to do is just highlight their best. We try to bring out the things that they can do for others, the things they can do that make a difference, and try to help fit their skills with the needs of employers and other people in our community.
Morgan, if I can't come to the event, but I want to buy tickets,
Yes.
there's an option for that as well.
There is, yes. That's our sponsor a client option, and that is $100 so that one of the people that we serve so that they can attend the event in your place.
And if I want to help in some other way, obviously I can donate on your
Yes.
website. Do you ever need things? Do you need volunteers? Do you need things along those lines as well?
I would say really any of the above. Staffing is important for us, volunteers are important to us, but the financial donations are also always appreciated as well.
And if you have skills or talents, as many of you work with us side by side on a regular basis, we have some people that come on an ongoing basis. They're here regularly and we see them on a kind of day in and out basis, but we have others that say, here's something I would like to do to help. And they may come in for a specific event or a specific education opportunity. They may have a specific talent or skill that they want to support us with or help to donate. And at other times, they say, how can I help? And they'll offer to volunteer. So we've had people that have done all sorts of things for us in the organization. So if you've got skills and talents and are looking for a place to invest them outside of farm to table, we can definitely use those as well.
And employers are always welcome. You've got someone here that could probably fill a spot that an employer here in our area is looking to fill.
We are continuing to help individuals that are in our community that are seeking opportunity to help them build the skills to be ready for employment. They don't always match up at the perfect time because sometimes the employer needs somebody today, and today may be a little bit harder because we do need to prepare them. We want them to be successful. But through those partnerships and helping to look at what's needed by the business, places like Thermo Fisher and Exalta and Trex and Hood have been very supportive organizationally for us to help build those skills over time that provides those work opportunities for people in the community.
And you have people on staff, if I'm not mistaken, Jim Stevenson, who is the husband of my very best friend in the entire world. He can come and sit down, and as an employer, you may not think you have something or may not know. You may think, look, I need somebody and I need them in here today. But having that conversation with him may uncover another problem that the employer knows they have but didn't think there was a solution for, that maybe your partnership with NW Works would be that solution.
Absolutely. Jim Stevenson is our Director of Employment Services. We have Jeremy Gorman, who's our Director of Business and Government Services. And then Sarah Schoonover is our Director of Programs.
I did not know Sarah was here.
And all three of them, Sarah joined us recently and is doing some great things with our day program and moving some things forward for us. But all three of them are a core part of our mission and services. And any of our team, if you've got areas that you're just trying to explore and you think you may have something that you need that we can help with, or you have something that you'd like to offer that you think would benefit our services, more than happy to have those conversations with you.
Morgan, where is the best first place for everyone to go? Tickets, donations, just more information.
That would be nwworks.com at our website.
And then you are on social, so they can get the link to buy their tickets on Facebook as well.
Facebook, yes. Yeah.
Thank you for reaching out. I've never had the Farm to Table event on the show because it's already sold out by the time I can get you on. So I'm so glad that you reached out before you were sold out. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
And Skip, thank you for inviting me over to your office. I learn something every single time I'm here.
Thank you very much for all that you do for us. We're number one, and really, Janet, you're number one. You do a great job of promoting nonprofits in our community and helping to keep us visible. Thank you for your service with the United Way and all the stuff you're doing to make things happen here in the Valley for all of us.
It makes it easy when people give me cute little gifts like this. You'll have to look at the Valley Today Instagram to see this cute little finger puppet of sorts. I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of the Valley Today a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.